Hello and welcome to Script TV. I'm Samuel Layton and I'm joined by James Cartwright, and today we're going to be talking about
the Cleveland Browns.
So, the Cleveland Browns, James, where do we even begin with them? One of the worst seasons I've seen as an NFL fan, other than the 0-16 Detroit Lions of the 2008 season. The Browns went 1-15 with a pretty lucky win over the San Diego Chargers when Josh Lambo's kick hit the uprights and they ended up losing out. But the Browns knew that season was coming. They knew they had to rebuild. What do you think they did last year that was positive? What do you think they've done in the off-season that shows that they're on the up?
Well, they've got, obviously, Isaiah Crowell has a solid season. He's decent there. Lost Terrell Pryor. Don't know how much of an impact that will have. But as we said in the LA Rams video, you've got Kenny Britt that side now. He's going to be the main guy there, making the grabs. We'll see how they get on. I mean, a lot of positive things that I've heard about the Browns. So we'll see how they get on. Yeah,
and obviously a guy that you forget because he got hurt a little bit in his first season in the NFL, Corey Coleman, the wide receiver, looked really good in the early part of the season. Him coming into his second year, hopefully be fully fit, hopefully be able to make some plays alongside an experienced guy like Kenny Britt. Kenny Britt, who really came into his own a bit last season. I thought he was a good receiver back in his Tennessee Titans days, sort of went off the boil a bit, but last season, absolutely quality. And I think Corey Coleman could be a bit of a danger man for the Browns. Now, the only thing I think about the Browns, I've heard positive things like James has said, is you've got Isaiah Crowell, he's going to make you yards. Yeah, you've got those receivers out there who are going to make grabs, and they also have David Njoku, the rookie tight end, coming in. Looks like a solid pick.
Well, that's a big one because Gary Barnidge is no longer there, and he had a great couple of seasons there, and then just sort of fell off last year. So I've got Njoku to make the yards from that third option in them wide receiver positions.
Yeah.
Well, that receiving caution.
Yeah. Well, the thing about the receivers, though, is who is actually going to be giving the ball to them. They ended up acquiring Brock Osweiler in the weirdest trade of all time, really, when they just basically agreed to take him so that the Texans didn't have to release him. Got a couple of picks from it. And I also got Cody Kessler, who's a good young QB. He did very well in his rookie season, I think, for a really struggling side. And obviously they picked up Deshaun Keyser in the draft as well in the second round. Someone who his name was mentioned a little bit, could be a potential starter. Of those three guys, who do you think is going to be under centre on day one?
I'm not really sure. I've not read anything out of Cleveland. Personally, I would probably go with Cody Kessler because he was there, he's been there. So we'll see how they get on. I mean, this side are not pressured to really do much. That's what I will say for a start. This side, as long as they get more than a win. Even if they get more than a win, it's more successful season. I mean, there's no way this side can do any worse than they did last season. But the main thing for this side is those defensive pickups in the draft. Myles Garrett, first pick.
Fantastic
defensive
pick.
End. You've got Jabril Peppers, safety, so building both aspects of the defence there. And if they can get them both and have a productive season from them, they're on to a winner there.
And I think they're joining as well Danny Shelton, who came in last season, defensive tackle, had a solid season. Jason McCourty joins, a solid cornerback.
Yeah.
He's going to be on the other side to Joe Hayden, who was one of the best in the league for a number of years. Defensively, I think that the Cleveland Browns don't look like a weak side. I think it's mainly that offense that needs to get sorted out, but I'm sure they can do that. And those players, a lot of them are relatively unknown, aren't they? I mean, who knows? Deshaun Keyser could come in and be the next Dak Prescott. So the Cleveland Browns go 12-4 and make the Super Bowl. But I highly doubt that was going to happen. So if you are a Browns fan, apologies for getting your hopes up there. Anything else you want to mention, James, on the Browns? I think they've picked up really good players, and there certainly will be a team to watch.
I think a positive thing for the Browns to just stop becoming a laughingstock. Just, stop everybody laughing at you. If you can do that, you're on to a winner, as I'll say.
Yeah, and I think they've certainly done that, and they've made the right steps with the way they've performed in this off-season. Certainly, for me, one of the best teams, the players they've picked up. A fantastic draft, stockpiling those picks, getting a number of young, talented players in there to add to what is already a very young roster. Unfortunately for me, I think the one big thing, obviously, Terrell Pryor going, and that was he was an outstanding season last year. But yeah, I think the Browns are probably going to be on the up. So yeah, if you are a Browns fan, although I don't know many of you guys, if you are a Browns fan, please let us know what you think of your season coming in. Do you think you've worked well in the off season? I personally think you do. Do you agree with me and James? Do you think you're going to get a few more wins this year, especially in that really tough division? Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Obviously, we are Squib TV. Follow us at Squib_TV on the Twitter. And thank you for watching.
It's a touchdown.